back on Patriot League All Access. On with us now is the head volleyball coach of defending Patriot League champion American University, Barry Goldberg. Coach, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule today. Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem.
All right, you're entering your 23rd season at American, heading up the volleyball program there. First question for you is, you've been in the league now for about 10, 11 years. You've been here since 2001. What are your thoughts on what you've seen over that last 10 years and how which the Patriot League has evolved?
When we first came to the league, we had come from the Colonial Athletic Association, and we were doing pretty well in that league, and I was certainly concerned on we were going to be able to keep up our level of play, and my hope was that we would stay strong and the other teams would then get as strong and really competitive, and I think that's exactly what's happened. So we're happy with what we're doing, and certainly with the direction the league's going in terms of their level of competitiveness.
We have 3 new coaches in the Patriot League this season, obviously at Navy, Lehigh, and Holy Cross. At Navy and Lehigh, 2 very experienced coaches with very lofty reputations, and then a first-year head coach at Holy Cross. So with all the new faces in the league, how does that maybe bring a little bit of not uncertainty, but there's obviously going to be some different things and maybe some different looks that are going to be tossed at you from the likes of Lehigh, Navy, and Holy Cross during the course of the Patriot League season. So just your thoughts on having 3 new head coaches in the league and how that's going to kind of change things up a little bit during league play.
Well, every time there's a coaching change at any university, there's going to be a difference in the style of play and some of the things that they may prioritize. And knowing the coaches that are coming to the league, as I do, I'm excited to see the level of expertise in coaching that is coming to the league. So to me, it's a great thing to help increase our competitiveness as a group. And I think the student athletes at those universities will be encouraged by coaches as well that have a lot of experience and know-how on how to be successful at the sport. So certainly in Holy Cross's case, I think that they have a coach that has been there, so she's going to know the players, and obviously for them to choose her to be the coach, she has impressed them enough to, and the players enough to step into the ranks. And the previous coaches, actually in all 3 of the cases, I thought did an incredible job. And so to me, it just continues to get better and better as we go here.
Your program obviously had quite a few seniors on the team last season, were able to lead it to that 29-3 year, getting to the NCAA tournament as the Patriot League champion. This year you have 2 seniors on your roster, a bit of a younger roster. Does that change your approach when it comes to maybe coaching or teaching? Do you kind of, based on the age and the experience of the bulk of your roster, does that bring out any different nuances in your approach when it comes to coaching?
I'm not so certain it brings out differences in my approach, because I am who I am as a person, and that's who I am as a coach as well. Certainly, you're aware that there may be differences in all the people that are new into your program, and certainly some differences in those that have just moved on, graduated, and had successful careers here. So the changes in people, I think, is the biggest difference. I don't think it's necessarily going to change me so much, because we've had a success over a number of years here. So it's certainly I want to keep getting better at what I'm doing, but I think people are who they are, and I don't see myself being that different. But as the season goes on, you're approached by many different types of challenges, and this challenge will be unique, I'm sure, and that's okay. That's how this stuff works. So I'm excited to take on the challenge of a new team, and certainly with a lot of new faces. But I think it's all good, personally. It'll be encouraging.
As mentioned, you do have a lot of younger players, a lot of freshmen who are on the roster for this upcoming year. What were some of the things that you were looking to address? What were some needs that you wanted to meet with this recruiting class that you have coming in for their first season in the American volleyball program?
Yeah, well, there's, the biggest issue you're dealing with is filling the positions that need to be filled. So we think we've done an admirable job of, and it's not so much even the job we've done, but we've worked at trying to fill the positions and the needs of some of the players that graduated and moved on. So you had to find 2 outside hitters, and we were blessed enough to get a couple people in here that are quite capable and could help us to excel even more so in time. So, time will tell, but the number one goal of what you're trying to do is just making sure you're trying to have a complete team and have competition at all of the positions. So we think we've done that to this point, and certainly we haven't played any matches this year, and we're looking forward to the season. But now it's a matter of just doing a good job with everybody day to day on the court and getting us prepared for the competition that's coming.
A quick look back at 2010, an exceptional year, as mentioned, 29 victories against 3 losses, going to 5 against UCLA in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Did that meet your expectations? Did that exceed your expectations? When you look back at last year, what are some of the most important things that you and your program will be able to take out of last year?
Last year exceeded my own personal expectations, simply from the fact that the previous year prior to that was not as strong as we'd hoped it would have been. And so we went into last year and had a number of seniors that learned many lessons as juniors. And we had a really fine year here. We played extremely well with some of the top teams in the country by the end of the year, and it was quite encouraging overall. And so this year, it's hard to have a ton of expectation because we're so new with so many different positions and graduated people in every one of the positions on the court last year, other than the setting position. So, we're just looking forward to trying to do this again this year. And I'm not really here to compare last year's team and all they went through to this year's. I can only say that last year we had challenges going into the year, and I was sitting here 1 year ago wondering, can we get back to a level that's pretty high and competitive, and we were actually able to do that, and then some last year. And it was probably one of my better teams as it all comes to an end. And this year, coming in here, it's all new, and certainly a lot of question marks as to how we'll do in certain situations, and time will tell as to how we'll respond to that.
A quick look at your 2011 schedule. You have the usual complement of tournaments that leads you into Patriot League play. You've got some big matches. At least when people look at the teams, they'll see some big names there: the Virginia Techs, the Tennessees, Missouri, Villanova, and you have Oregon coming in on August 31st to play you at your place in Washington, D.C. So talk a little bit about what you look to achieve when you put together a schedule like this, and what it means to have a big time program like Oregon come in.
Well, the previous year we went out to Oregon, so they're returning the trip this year. And they were one of the teams that beat us last year at their place. Quite a tough trip to go all the way out there and play a nice crowd, a good team. And certainly we have a number of good teams on the schedule this year that made the NCAA tournament last year and are at-large teams nationally, a number of them getting top 25 votes. And so what we've done here is tried to get all of our young players accustomed to knowing and learning of the competition that's out there around the country. So we may have our struggles through some moments here, and we may find some incredible successes through this. But we're learning, and that's really what the duty was in terms of putting the schedule together, to give our young players, a good vision of the teams that are out there that we are trying to take on. And certainly I believe this kind of schedule will help us to prepare for the competition will come in the Patriot League later on into September and into October, November. So we'll see if we can keep our head on our shoulders after some of the ups and downs that may occur to be successful by the end of this.
Barry Goldberg is the head volleyball coach at American University, entering his 23rd season in the nation's capital, joining us on Patriot League All Access. Coach, thanks for the time. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you down the road.